I've got to ask, because of their league position right now, they're sitting above Chelsea, they're sitting just behind Spurs. Had they been the most impressive team for you in terms of defying expectations this season? Look, I know it's early days. I know it's still October heading into November, but still, when you look at all the other impressive sides, Arsenal, we expected them to be at least in the top 4, given some of the signings they made. City, goes without saying. Yeah. Tottenham, there was an expectation they would be in the top 4 as well, at least battling for it. But there's Newcastle. Now, are they the most impressive for you?
If you ask me before the season starts, definitely I would not have said for them to finish in the Champions League. It's still a long way, it's true. It's a lot of games left. It's going to be injuries. I'm not sure what they're going to do in January. Maybe if they see the availability to obviously make the top 4, maybe they're honest, because they can, obviously. They put some more money and bring few more players. But what I'm not surprised, because Tottenham, for example, and Chelsea are there, but you see many games, they are not playing the best football. This team, they are actually, you enjoy watching them play. You know, today, again, the energy, he say, how they manage to defend the result as well, all the players that attack, as soon as they counter-attack in Tottenham, how they defend as well. So, probably you asking me, even last year, for the manager of the year, I think it was Klopp, but I could have given it to Eddie, because what he did with Newcastle for 5, 6 months, you know, and how he get them out of the relegation. So they can finish top 4. It can happen. But Leicester City could have won the Premier League. Who would have said that? And they won it, you know, so you never know. But it's difficult. You have big teams that they have big players as well. And the problem with Newcastle, I think, if they miss 2, 3 key players, they're going to feel it a lot compared with maybe other big teams. That's my only thing with them. But definitely they're playing fantastic football, and it's a joy to watch.
They've only got 3 games to go before the World Cup in the league. They've got 1 EFL Cup match as well. And then they've got a couple of games at the end of December, and then the transfer window opens again. So it's really not that far away, even though it is still October right now. Mike, are they the most impressive side for you? Because for me, it's between Arsenal and them.
Well, when you look at it, there's 3 teams in the Premier League that have improved this season. One's Man City, one's Arsenal. Man City because of Haaland, stepped up another gear. Arsenal definitely, as a team now, they look good. And Newcastle, so they're in good company. You know what I mean? That's good company to be in. And the performances and the improvement has put them in the position they're in right now. And that's fantastic for them. It really is fantastic, because in the same year, they were nearly relegated. You know, back end of last season, they're fighting for the points to stay up. So the transformation is incredible. And that's a lot to do with selection, players that are on the field, their attitude, and the club's decisions or Newcastle's decisions in the market. So they've got a vision, they're following it, the players are carrying it out, the manager's determined, and they're quite rightly are in that top pack.
Yeah. You know, they're playing a brand of football that is really enjoyable to watch. No 2 ways about that. You know, you look at the game that we saw yesterday, you know, Chelsea, Manchester United, you know, for me, today's game was a much better game of football, and that was predominantly because of Newcastle. They've only been beaten once this season. They've scored, 20 goals now, I think it is, in their 12 games. They have, if it's not the best, it's about equal best defensive record. I think they've conceded 10 goals in those 12 games. So all round, I think they've been exceptional, yeah. I totally agree with Mike. You know, the best 2 sides at the moment for me, yes, are Man City and are Arsenal, and both of them play a great brand of football as well. I think before the season started, or first game, you know, we had some predictions and thoughts on what might happen. And I said, I think Newcastle's aim is to threaten to get into European football. So that's like 7th in the table. So they're surpassing that. I think they're off to a great start, but here we go. 12 games played, barely a third of the way through the season.
Yeah, long way to go.
But they should take the credit when credit's due. You know, and they should, you know, he's right. They should enjoy this feeling and this moment, because it can take you a long way. You know, it's important that you keep the momentum going for as long as you can. And they've got 3 games in a way to keep that momentum going before the break. Yeah. If they can get to that point in exactly the same position, it's another story going into the end of December, January, when that transfer window opens.
Those 3 games, they play Villa, Southampton and Chelsea.
There you go.
So
It's
it could be tougher, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be tougher, but it's up to them. And they're on the crest of a wave at the moment, for sure. So they'll be, like I say, players will be looking forward to the next game now. You know, they'll be wanting to train every day. I'll guarantee now that there's less injuries because they'll all want to play.
Yeah.
So mentality comes into play, and everybody's fit and wants to apply themselves to Newcastle and Newcastle Football Club.
I made an incredibly bold prediction that the player that scored 5 in 5 would get Player of the Month. I know, very brave of me. However, Manager of the Month. No better person to ask than the man who's actually won the award. Could it be Eddie Howe, do you think?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe Graham Potter, because he's unbeaten as well. Let's not forget.
Well, that's nice to know. You know, that's two English managers, which is unusual, to say the least. And that would be a credit to either of them to get it. But you couldn't look any further than those two, really. I mean, they've got a fair chance. Give them one each. Give them one each.
One each? We say this. What do you reckon?
I think I will give it to Eddie because I think it's more difficult to do for Newcastle what he's doing that obviously Graham is doing for Chelsea. And you see the way Chelsea's playing, is getting the results, but I think Newcastle are getting the results and like we were saying, and it's a joy to watch them right now.
They had to travel to Old Trafford and today to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
They've not had Alan Saint-Maximin available of late either, who gives them another dimension, doesn't he?
And Isaka's injured.
Yeah.
Their big summer signing.
Exactly.
As well, their goal-scoring threat.
And they've continued as if it's not a problem.
Make sure we clip this so we can see when the winner is actually announced, if we got it correct, or maybe just give it to someone else and we had no idea about that.